Okay, guys, this is going to be a review. Your test on Wednesday and Thursday will cover all topics, everything that we have covered to this point, lessons 1 through 6, including the practice lessons. So, what I'm going to do today is go over each one and go over the critical things. So, this is going to be a slightly longer video, okay? And you're going to have to actually pay attention through the whole way. Now, I'm not going to front with you. Some of your test scores show me that some of you have only been watching a couple of minutes, or you think you can watch one or two parts of the video and get the test right. That's not even close to accurate. So let's make sure we get this done and get this started. Now, first and foremost, everything starts with the music staff. Okay? Now, staff has 5 lines and 4 spaces. Staff, 5 lines, 4 spaces. Okay, now a staff is divided into measures. Measures are created by putting into place bar lines. That is a single bar line. That is a double bar line. Okay? Now we're going to lengthen this one just a little bit so that we can make sure that we get everything in here we need. Okay? Now, having said what I said about your test scores, you're going to like what I'm going to put in Google Classroom when you see this. So, there we go. Now, we have our staff, we have our single bar line, we have our double bar line, we have a measure. I really can't write. That's a measure. That's a measure. Okay? Now, I'm not even close to done yet. Okay. Those are the things you need to know so far from lesson 1, except for one addition. Ledger lines. Okay? Ledger lines. Now, I'm going to come back to this page. So, we're going to stay here. I'm going to flip over and go to another page. Okay? Out of 1, 2, you need to know the musical alphabet and which letters there are. So there may be a question on the test that says, what letter comes after G in the musical alphabet? And I swear, if you write H, I will fail you for the whole test. Okay? The correct answer is A, and then B, C, D, all the way around. What comes before A in the musical alphabet? G, F, you go backwards. Now, I don't know why there's a dot there. That's not where it's supposed to go. Now, important thing to remember, we're going to flip back to our staff. When you go up the staff, you're going up, or not up, let's see, what's better? It's a better word, up, advancing, going forward in terms of letters. So as you go up the staff, it's A, B, C, D, E, F, G, okay? And as you go down the staff, it's G, F, E, D, C, B, A, etc. Not correct. I don't know, I didn't write that. Yeah, we'll use this one. Not to scale. Whenever you're doing a drawing of anything and it's not accurate in terms of dimensions, like a map is drawn to scale, because if you try to draw a map of the United States to scale, you have a 3,000 mile wide map. Same thing here. This is not to scale because these lines and spaces aren't accurate. This is just for reference. As you go up the staff, you go up in letters, you advance in letters. As you go down the staff, you descend in letters. Okay? Again, musical alphabet. Now, we're going to draw another staff. And yes, I am going kind of fast, but I want to make sure that I keep this video to the basics so that you understand exactly what you need to study for your big review test. Because I'm going to do some of you a big favor. Okay, so let's talk about clefs. This is 1-3. Clefs. Okay. Now that one is treble. Then we have alto. Oh, I'll do that, but not quite right. Alto always gave me trouble. Okay, and bass. Oh, need to go back to 1-1. Let's go back. Ledger lines. So, ledger lines extend the staff beyond its 5 lines and 4 spaces. They only show up when needed, okay? And they're only there if a note would not touch any part of the regular staff. So, for example, a note on top of the staff does not get a ledger line. Why? Because it's still touching the top line, right here. Okay. Now, however, a note up here needs a ledger line. Why? Because it's by itself. You take that away, it's just hanging out in the middle air. It needs it's like being an astronaut being connected to its shuttle. The astronaut needs that line, or he or she just starts floating away into outer space, never to be seen again. Okay, and we don't want that to happen to the notes. Okay, let's talk about clefs. Okay, treble, alto, bass. Okay, let's talk about instruments. Cello. Actually, I'm going to do one thing before I do this. I want to see if this works. Duplicate page and ink. Nice. Okay, that worked. I never tried that before. Okay, so we're going to try something new. Okay, treble. Also, well, no, we're going to go back to instruments. Instruments for the treble clef. Lots of them. Flute, clarinet, trumpet, alto sax, tenor sax, bari sax. If one of my 0 period kids is watching this, hi Uriel, that's for you. Uriel and 0 period. Bass clarinet, oboe, violin, and those are pretty much the main ones that you need to know. Treble's used for a lot of instruments, okay? Alto, just one. Viola, that's it. That's all. The only one. Just hanging out. Now, fun fact that's not on test. Cellos actually in older music have their own clef called the tenor clef. It looks like the alto clef except it's lifted up one line in space, so it's actually sitting off of the staff just a little bit. However, it's not used anymore. Cellos stick to bass clef. Okay, which leads me to bass clef. Trombone, cello, baritone horn. Hi, Kimberly. Hi, Danny. Not that Danny ever watches these videos. And tuba and string bass. Hello, Francisco. That one's yours. Okay, so those are the main ones for bass. Those are the main ones for that. Fun fact, drums don't usually use a clef. Each drum is assigned its own line. So for example, the bass drum plays the bottom space. The snare usually plays the middle line. The quads, which are played in marching bands, the 4 tenor drums that are carried in one harness, they actually they are played on treble, but they read all 4 spaces. So fun facts for you guys to know. Okay? Now, next thing, we're going to flip over here. Treble clef. Every good boy does fine. Spaces spell face. Right? Bass clef. Divvy these up here with some fanciness just because. Okay? Now, bass clef. Good boys do fine always, and all cows eat grass. Okay? Now, Let's talk about alto. I want you to notice something here when we look at this. If, and I have to think about it. Let me do it in a different color, just so that it's clear to see here. Oh, that works. I should probably try this more often. Learned a new trick for you guys. And then G, B, D, F. To help you remember, I want you to start memorizing treble clef. Okay? And I want you to remember that as you go down, because alto is lower than treble in terms of pitch, think about it. Which one's higher, violin or viola? Right? Okay. And then bass is lower than that. So I want you to think, as you go down, the bottom line goes up. So look, E is the bottom line for treble, F is the bottom line for alto, G is the bottom line for bass. F, G, A. So if you can remember one, you can go over here and you can remember, and you can fill in treble clef, E, G, B, D, F. Then you'll remember that the lines for alto start at the bottom one. Okay, F. Now alternate. A, C, E, G. We draw a few more lines and do bass. G, B, D. It kind of looks like it. F, A. If you can remember that, then you got it. Just remember one of them, whichever one you remember, and remember its place in the order. Okay, alto's in the middle, bass is lower, so its letter is the top one. Treble is higher, so its letter is the bottom one. Okay, make that work in your head however you want it to. But that's the easiest way to remember all of them together. Memorize yours and then learn the pattern, whether you're going up or down to get to the others. Okay? All right, so that is 1 through 3. All right, that is review video 1. All right, to make this easy to digest, I'm going to break it into 2 chunks. I was going to do one long one, deciding not to. Okay? So this is the one for the first half. This is your collapsed review video for 1 through 3. Okay? All right, signing off.